After riding over 2,000 miles on the Continental Divide, I only have one state left: New Mexico. I've learned the hard way many times over. It's best to keep your expectations in check. But after recently watching Oppenheimer, I think I got it. I've caught a stride. I'm ready for what the trail will throw at me. Prepared for the worst, but hoping for the best. No longer relying on my daily mile count to define my success, I'm looking forward to exploring a landscape I know almost nothing about. Definitely starting to realize that it's the end of the season. Stop by campgrounds. Things are closed as we go by. This one's closing in 3 days. The water's turned off, so we had to filter some water from the lake. Winter is coming. At this point, it's pretty unsettling. New Mexico hasn't felt or looked anything like I had imagined. I get the sense that New Mexico doesn't care what you think about it. I've been riding with Alex for the last 500 miles. That's surprising because I don't think he really minds being alone. He's kind of a unique character out here on the trail. Heavy bike, cotton t-shirts he just plucked out of his dresser, old, worn-out panniers, rim brakes. Although I initially judged that book by its cover, he was probably more ready than I was for the trail. He always said, you can tour on anything. A better bike just makes it easier. It's hard to quantify exactly what a person can offer you in a friendship. And the truth is, every relationship is so different, it would be unfair to hold them all to the same standard. At its simplest form, you can just try to bring a bit of kindness and honesty into your world. And it's even better when it's reciprocated. In reality, when I think back to the Divide, I will always think of Alex. He's a person that's easy to get along with, and I'm glad I met him.
Pretty good day.
I have 600 miles left. Alex has thousands. His trip isn't even close to being over, but our time together is. His bike is in serious need of attention. We've had our fingers crossed for days that his bottom bracket wouldn't completely explode. So there's changes. That's new and exciting. One of the most relevant changes, I booked my flight home. I don't exactly know how it will end, but I know when. I suddenly have so much respect for the Northbounders. It is almost October. So hot. Climbing up this hill today. Oh my God. I don't know how people could do this in the middle of summer. It'd be unbearable. You get sloppy. Oh, this really technical. Man, I really hope this hill was just the entry cost to New Mexico and not the standard. It had all the aspects of a climb that make it very tough. I crashed on this little section right here. First crash in a while too. I was having a vibe, but sun was in my eyes and just couldn't see. Took a spill and I now have a very flat tire. I'm glad it happened now. Looks like there's a bit of camping right here. I'm just gonna pop into the woods and I got a couple of late night visitors. Hey guys. Am I in your spot? I've definitely been experimenting with tire pressure in the last 2 weeks, given the fact that I'm not running tubeless. And by experimenting, I mean being very lazy and not refilling my tires when they get low. Maybe I'm being converted slowly to a tubeless guy. We'll see. In hindsight, I'm shocked I've ridden through so much desert without encountering a single goat head. I've heard the term before, but I was going to find out exactly why it was so relevant. In the more northern portions of the trail, I heard a lot of stories about New Mexico. Few of them are very positive. While talking with community members in these small towns, I found the opposite. Almost everyone gives me some advice about finding water, but the most common thing I heard is how lucky they are to live in such a beautiful place. Growing up in the Midwest, that's a unique perspective. I also thought landscapes like this only existed in old Western movies. I have no idea why or how this well exists. It's a pretty nice water source. It's not only different from home, but it feels so different from the rest of the trail. The contrast is astounding. Another friendly reminder that I'm just 1 in 8 billion. My reality has nothing to do with the rest of the world. I wish this all hadn't been so dramatic. It wasn't my intention. Just because there's a race doesn't mean you have to meet a certain performance standard to be out here. The Great Divide is a place where cyclists of all levels can come together and enjoy some of the greatest riding the world has to offer. Whether you ride it in 2 weeks, 2 months, or 2 years, there's room for you on the Divide. This is definitely one of the weirder things that I found on this trail, and it is just a flowing pipe of water in the middle of the desert, just constantly going. That water from that well tastes like straight sulfur, so it definitely is from like a spring. I didn't filter it. Hope I don't regret that. Great couple days in the desert. Boy, is it hot out here though. I don't have to worry about snow anymore. That's for sure. Lava Flow Hostel. Sweet little setup for cyclists coming through. Grants. Looking at my resupply, I don't have much until Silver City. It's like 3 days. Well, I meant to leave yesterday afternoon around 3 or 2, and a storm came into town. You can hear a little bit of rain on the roof right now. And it's been mega windy for the last couple days. 30-mile-an-hour headwinds. It should stop raining hopefully in the next hour or so. And then I'm going to roll out of town and try and knock out 30 to 50 miles this evening. That means I'm definitely riding into the dark, but the way the water situation's set up, it works out really nicely. It looks like a lot of the miles from here to the border have a lot less climbing day over day, but way less water and a lot hotter. So they still have their challenges. But ultimately, the hills, they're back there in Colorado. We left them where they belong. The hostel was busy, in a good way. Between that and the possibility of more mud, it was a worthwhile extra day. Another rider and I set out to cowboy camp near a hose bib we saw on the map. Definitely a bit of frost on the ground this morning. It's nice though because the road's frozen and it's a bit damp from yesterday's rain. Great little night of sleep. I was able to sleep near some water, which makes a big difference logistically for today. Got a good start, 7 a.m. On my way to Pie Town. Guess what they have there? Pie, that's right. I got my first flat from a goat head. It was a big old dead goat head just stuck in my tire. You know, tubes. They have their pitfalls for sure. No bike shop until Silver City, so I'll just be patching this tire. Oh, what is that? Just got poked with something. Oh my God, is that another one? Oh my God.
Another one.
Are you fucking serious? Oh my God. There's so many. There's gonna be like 10 holes in this thing. Shit. Oh my God. This is gonna be horrible. Really. We're gonna see how this lasts. I really am having serious regrets about not going tubeless. I will say I'm nervous about the remainder of today and how it's gonna go. Maybe we'll go for my records on flats in one day today. Oh, look, here's another one. Jesus. Rode about a quarter mile, another goat head, another flat. My feelings about tubeless tires have greatly improved in the last 1 hour. New tube in, cut the old tube in half, lined the inside of the tread with the tube. We're gonna see how this goes. Feeling like a real idiot for not going tubeless. Everybody said, didn't listen to the advice. Third flat tire, 1.5 miles. We're gonna try and put some sealant in the tube. And then I'm gonna decide if that's gonna work. And if not, I'm just gonna walk to Pie Town. That's the only way. It's about 40 miles from here. The next bike shop is 220 miles away, where I would happily pay anyone to put me tubeless at this stage. Pie Town is famous for pies, but in the biking and hiking world, it's more famous for the Toaster House. A house that was donated and free to use for thru hikers and bikers. Equipped with food, showers, beds, toasters, and I'm hoping something to fix this situation. After a lot of consideration, I decided that I'm not going to continue on the trail. I'm going to go around on the highway, which is a huge bummer. I have like a massive amount of FOMO. I really want to stay on the divide route. I've been very deliberately strict to stick to it even when it gets tough. But the amount of flat tires that I got in such a short period today just pretty much tells me it's not, I don't know. It's not going to be fun. It's going to be horrible. Between me and the 3 other cyclists, we couldn't think of an effective way to save this situation in the middle of nowhere. The Gila National Forest was something I was really looking forward to biking, not hiking. I guess that's the drawbacks of having booked a flight. Honestly, I've been so true to this route this whole time, it's a massive disappointment that I have to skip 180 miles and go on the pavement. And I'm about 15 miles in, and I already have my first flat tire from a goat head. Needless to say, I made the right decision for today. Another flat tire. This is life now. I just go from one flat to the next. Definitely got a pretty good pace on so far. I had a bit of a late start, those flats. A couple of little bummer instances today, but realistically it's been okay. I think I've got about 20 miles left and the sun has set. 101 miles today. Pretty solid effort, given the fact that I left around 10. Woke up this morning, the tire in the back was flat.
Disappointing way to start the day, but very on brand with New Mexico.
Bikes can take an average piece of pavement and make it enjoyable and useful. Luckily, this one's nice on its own.
Bit of a road detour, 175 miles in 2 days. Just a couple miles shy of the actual route and a little bit less climbing. A lot less flat tires.
I was able to get tubeless fully set up in less than an hour. I am never going back to tubes. The mechanic had some other concerns about my bike, but this close to the finish line, I am limping that bad boy right to the border. I only have 2 days of riding until this trail is over. I don't know, it just seems suddenly so soon.
This looks like it is my last stretch of gravel for the remainder of the trip.
I had one rule: ride every mile. My lack of preparation finally caught up with me. The end feels a bit empty. Not because I had to do a detour. I'm lucky I made it this far. I never really thought I'd say this, but I would love to be back in Canada again right now. If you get to the end and you don't feel any different, it's because the change already happened.
It is 7 a.m. right now. We've got 45 miles left.
You spend all this time gunning for the end, and when you get there, all you can think about is how you got here.
Lots of thunder and lightning.
Kind of like when you're a kid
This is not what I wanted to be doing right now.
and you just want to grow up. But by the time you're in your teens, you want to be a kid again.
This is insane. Also weirdly fun.
And now that I'm in my 30s, I would kill to be a teenager. I find myself wondering, how did I get so serious? When I was a kid, a bike was a ticket to freedom and happiness. My first real step into responsibility. If I wanted something, I could go out and get it. Eating a lot of donuts. It just took a little extra work. The payout was the same, but I got to make more memories on the way.
I'm just blown away right now. Amazing. Great news. A little bit of sunshine. Tailwind for the first time in days. It's pretty awesome.
On this trail, did I get what I came here for? No, I didn't. And I'm so lucky, because then I wouldn't have gotten anything at all.
That's it. Just like that, it's over. Feels too soon. There's just no one around. There's no committee or finish line. It's just me and a couple burritos.
Is it a coincidence that the longer my beard gets, the more philosophical I become?